Chris Perry here with Voyant Training and Support, and we're excited to announce a reworking of the charts in AdviserGo, as well as some terrific new features and functionality that should make AdviserGo an even more powerful presentation tool. Before reviewing these new features, it's important to understand that much of this redesign work has been done behind the scenes. The code that drives the charts in AdviserGo has been completely overhauled to give us much more flexibility to add new features and make future improvements. The color and content of the charts themselves, however, have not been changed. This is a really important point. The charts will appear as they have before, both in the software and in printable reports. So let's begin with an example to give you a flavor of what the redesigned charts can do. We want to have a discussion with our clients, the Campbells, about their savings for retirement and specifically their pensions. Using the refactored, reworked charts, you can now easily switch to the Assets chart in the new drop-down chart selection menu, which is here. Let's toggle on the detailed view of the chart, which will show all of their assets individually. Here in the chart legend, click Hide All Assets, which will give us a clean slate on which to build a pension-specific view. Then to focus on pensions, let's select their two money purchases for viewing. Even if these pensions were to comprise only a small portion of the Campbell's overall net worth, the chart will now automatically rescale, spotlighting these two accounts to their maximum effect. Move your cursor over any year of the chart, and you'll only see the annual balances and the total for the two selected pensions. Other assets that we've hidden from view will now be omitted from the chart details in the total balance. Now let's go to the More Features menu, which is here, to toggle on the new zooming tools for the chart. These new options will allow you to zoom in or out on the charts, which changes scale, and in an entirely new concept to zoom in on selected periods of time. With the zoom switched on, we can now click the pre-retirement stage, which is below the chart, to zoom in on the selected stage. This will bring the Campbell's accumulation for retirement into focus. We can now discuss the buildup of their retirement savings through planned contributions and the projected growth of their pensions between now and retirement. By toggling on or off the Year View button here, we can also easily dip into the yearly chart details where all the information about the pensions can be found. And we can ultimately highlight what the Campbells are projected to have saved in their pensions by the time they retire. Now let's move the discussion on to their retirement. Click the small strip of the adjacent stage, which is their retirement stage, to switch the focus to their drawdown of these pensions. If the pensions retain a balance until the very end of the plan, we could then highlight to the Campbells what might be left to their children and discuss the inheritance tax implications here on the legacy screen. As you can see, this is powerful stuff, all of which is designed with presentation and usability in mind. The redesign of the charts in AdviserGo also includes several subtle but very important usability improvements, which promise to make presentation and navigation simpler and quicker. When you first open AdviserGo, notice a subtle difference in the way the charts load. The bars will now fill up the chart from bottom to top. The stages beneath the charts have also been given more padding, maintaining a more consistent look that matches the stages on the timeline screen. This additional space will also make the stages much easier to click when using the new Time Zoom feature. Chart selection has also been made quicker and more intuitive using a new drop-down menu. Charts can also be switched as before by swiping left or right over the charts if you're using a touchscreen device, or using the left-right arrows to either side of the charts. Moving between the three chart views has also been made more readily accessible and intuitive. Switching from a single chart view, which is the software's default, to a dual chart or compare plans view is now done through a drop-down menu here under Let's See. Select Let's See and you'll be prompted to select one of three viewing modes: single chart, dual chart, or compare plans. The Details button, which toggles the detailed view of the charts on and off, and the Year View button, which switches from the charts to a view of the annual details behind them, are now clearly labeled. A new More Features menu has been added to the chart navigation as a place to store special ancillary chart features. These features include the Real Money view, the new chart zoom options, and a new option to toggle on or off the chart legend. The options on this menu can be selected or deselected to be toggled on or off. This menu will be the place to find future chart features as we add them. When in the Dual Chart or Compare Plans views, the charts will now show yearly details for the charts, both top and bottom, simultaneously. The bars of the chart can be selected and the mouse over chart details shown when hovering your cursor over the bar itself, as before, but now also when moving your cursor into the white space above the bars of the chart. Currently, you must have your cursor over a bar to see these details, which can be difficult if the bar is very small or doesn't exist at all. A new selection bar has been added to help guide your visual focus to the bar that is currently selected. And a subtle pinpoint effect has been added to the cash flow chart to highlight the position of the black need line and the blue basic need line. The chart details have also been moved to the side of the selected bar rather than positioned over the bar itself. This allows the selected bar to always remain fully in view without ever being obscured by the mouse over details. The items shown in the mouse over chart details will now be parsed, showing balances and totals only for the items selected and in view. And now when in the dual chart mode, the detailed view can be toggled on or off for the top and bottom charts independently. Currently, if the detailed view is switched on for one of the two charts, it will be switched on for both. Many advisors express to us the need to show, for example, a simple view of the assets chart, one showing only assets by higher level category, alongside a detailed view of the cash flow chart. This can now be done. The Compare Plans view works in an opposite manner, always ensuring that the two charts are in sync. Since the purpose of this view is to present a like-for-like comparison of two different plans, it's assumed that switching charts or toggling on or off the detailed view should apply to the charts of both plans simultaneously. The charts will now also automatically resize to spotlight the items in view to maximum effect. For example, if during a discussion you want to turn the spotlight on taxable investment accounts, which in this case comprise only a small sliver of the client's overall asset mix, you could hide all but this one category of asset. The chart will automatically resize, bringing taxable investments to the fore. The option has been added to switch on or off chart legends. You can display a legend identifying all of the color-coded items represented on the chart. You can deselect items, and you can focus solely on the assets you want to discuss. Or if the legend becomes a distraction, then it can be easily toggled off here in the More Features menu. The toggle feature has the added advantage of making the display of the chart legend an option on screens where it wasn't shown before, such as on the dashboard or in the year view of the charts. Two new zoom tools have been introduced that will allow you to interact more dynamically with the charts, fashioning chart views that better fit the focus of your presentations. The scaling or resizing zoom will allow you to zoom in or out on the charts. The time zoom will allow you to highlight select periods of time in the plan. These zoom options can be toggled on or off from the More Features menu here. The scaling or resizing zoom allows you to rescale the charts using a pair of plus/minus buttons. This feature can be especially useful when large inflows, which are shown as outside spikes in the cash flow, result in shrinking down the adjacent bars of the chart, which can make them difficult to see. By toggling on zoom and clicking the plus button to zoom in, you can now rescale the chart, making for a better presentation experience. The new time zoom allows you to focus on a selected period of time in the charts. For example, we could discuss this plan in decades, focusing on one 10-year period at a time. Move the right slider down the timeline to the 10th year of the plan, and the chart will zoom in on these selected years. As you move the slider, notice how the ages of the primary and secondary client are shown, as well as the selected year. These are displayed for the start and end of the selected time span. Click the space between the start and end of the selected time span, and you can move the selected period down the timeline like so. This could allow you to present a plan, for example, decade by decade. Whenever the zoom features are activated, the stages beneath the chart, such as pre-retirement and retirement, become clickable. You can click anywhere on a stage to zoom in on that selected stage. This option allows for an easy, interactive, stage-based discussion. Notice how a sliver of the adjacent stage is always shown. This is designed to allow you to easily click on the next stage. When clicked, the charts will move over to a zoomed-in view of the subsequent stage, which in this case is retirement. To restore the charts to full view, either drag the slider back up or down the timeline, toggle off zoom here in the More Features menu, or simply refresh your browser. All will restore the charts to their original scaling. Again, this is some terrific new functionality that should make the software an even more powerful presentation tool. We at Voyant hope you enjoy using these features as much as we do.